Before we get into today's content, we would like to extend our condolences to those picking up the pieces in the wake of Hurricane Ian. Over 100 have lost their lives and thousands have lost their homes and RVs as the damage estimate climbs to $75 billion. While relief efforts are being made to help those in need, we would like to extend help to the helpers. Many nurses and medical professionals are living in hospitals to continue caring for people, including several travelers within the Atlas MedStaff family. If you would like to join us in helping out, please see the link below and watch for another video coming soon.
If you had plans to visit Florida this year, those plans might be canceled and you might be scrambling to figure out what in the world you're going to do. We're coming up on our 5th year of full-time RVing, and we have snowbirded every year, so we have some ideas that might help you reorganize and replan your winter.
There are really no words that we can say to speak to the tragedy of what happened through Hurricane Ian in Florida, especially the Fort Myers area. There are lots of residents that are affected. So many homes and properties and businesses and stuff like that, including hospitals, have been affected by, all of the damages and things like that. But being an RV channel, that's what we wanted to address today, how this is affecting not only, the people that live and work in that area, but also, people that plan to travel there and have traveled there for years on end of their life, and how much this is going to change the industry right now, at least in the temporary.
The people that are currently there and that are displaced are going to need places to stay in the upcoming future, which may also affect plans for the winter time as they are rebuilding. We have been snowbirding in the Southwest every year, specifically Phoenix, which I feel like puts us at an advantage because we know a lot about the state of Arizona, which could help some people that may be not able to go to Florida and want to try the Southwest out instead. So we're going to talk about a few places that you could go instead of Florida that are really neat places that you might not have thought of before. I'm going to start with Arizona because
we know it best.
We know it best. If you're always going to Florida, you might think desert and be like, I don't want to go to the desert. But if you've never been to the desert, you definitely should give it a try because I know we were really surprised.
She very much thought that it was just going to be sand and dry and not a nice place.
I was really pleasantly surprised by what Phoenix and the desert of Arizona had to offer, and which is why we keep returning there every year. One thing I want to address about Phoenix, which is similar to Florida, is there are a lot of 55 and older parks there. That does not mean that there aren't places to stay if you're less than 55. It just means that it could get a little bit more difficult, and we have made a video in the past up here that talks about places that you can stay, parks you can stay in and around the Phoenix area if you happen to be under 55 or have children.
Yep.
So places in the desert are going to be the Phoenix area, Quartzsite, Yuma, Tucson. Those are all places that are not only really great places to find RV parks at, they're all over the place. It's also a great place to boondock because there's public lands everywhere. And if you're not familiar with boondocking or you want to give it a try and you just haven't yet, you can look up here at our free boondocking guide. That's something that we are really passionate about and that we love. And so we have a map of every place we've ever boondocked. There's a lot of them in Arizona.
Some things to know about Arizona too is that it's definitely going to be a drier climate. So if for whatever reason you may prefer the humidity, you're not going to get that in Arizona. It's going to be dry. It's going to be warm during the days. You're going to see 70s and temperatures like that, but it does cool off at night. So expect, sometimes down into even the 40s in the late part of the evening. So it can get pretty cool at night, which is nice too because it's nice and cool in the evenings, but then it warms up during the daytime.
It's really a very pleasant temperature and
it really is.
Climate, really.
Tucson is going to be a little bit warmer during the winter months than Phoenix Metro is. If you're still looking to get out near the water area, there is a wonderful area called Havasu Lake that's a big destination for RVers as well. It's not necessarily like an oceanfront beach, but it is a water feature. Another option is going to be
California.
Southern California specifically.
Yes, Southern California. Now, there's going to be some pros and cons, of course, to California.
To all of these places.
To all of them,
yeah.
but there are some really beautiful places to stay. We have stayed in a state park in the San Diego area, which was really nice. And also Joshua Tree. Over there by Joshua Tree, you have not only RV parks, but you also have the possibility of boondocking there, which is really nice. And then there's even some places that are kind of by Yuma and just off the side where the Imperial Sand Dunes are, which is another great place to boondock, and there are RV parks over there as well.
That's right. Now, California is going to have probably the most beautiful diversity in terms of places and things to do, and just the most temperate climate of them all as well. However, you will also pay for it. One thing that to consider too is if you have a very large rig like we do, it is going to be a little bit harder to find some locations in Southern California. Just some of the RV parks are a little bit smaller there. There will still be options, but it might be an issue.
We found that 40 feet is kind of the cap.
Yeah.
The California coast is something that we would love to explore more of. One major challenge is finding a campsite. Recently, we've been partnering with a company called RV that offers a great solution.
Now, RV is an online camping search booking site, kind of all in one, and what they specialize in and what makes them unique over all of these others out there is their ability to do something called a sold out search with an instant booking. It's just a fantastic option and fits this kind of dilemma I think we're going to see with this change of plans for everybody. As people are trying to book up these spots, you know, as fast as possible, places are going to book up. They're going to book up really quickly. Now, cancellations still happen. People's plans change all the time. And where RV shines is you can put in your parameters of your rig, what site size you need, how many slides you have.
Yeah, slides.
Okay.
That if
Slides,
you have a tow vehicle.
if you have a tow vehicle,
kids.
yeah, kids, pets, what amperage you're going to need in terms of like 30 versus 50, whether or not you want sewer, all of the customizable things that you have, and then you can search for campgrounds based on that. And if you find one that's sold out, meaning that it's totally booked, you can do the SOS search, the sold out search. And you can set it up so that as soon as there's a cancellation, it will automatically book the site for you. You do not have to set it up for the instant booking feature. It can be set up to just notify you, send you an email or a text, you know, when something comes available so that you have the option to overlook it and do it yourself.
RV offers two types of plans. There's an annual plan and a deposit plan. With the deposit plan, you can stop and start your membership as needed. You'll get unlimited searches and bookings and be able to run 5 SOS scans that search continuously every 5 minutes, even while you sleep. With the annual plan, you'll save nearly 40% and increase your SOS scans to 10, running every 2 minutes.
You'll see the links below in our description. There is a discount on both plans if you go through our links, so make sure to check it out. I really think it's going to be really beneficial for anybody that's having to do this and try to find and book these locations that normally are going to be really, really difficult to get into, and even worse now with all of, you know, all of the stuff that's going on.
The other thing that I see using it for is that a lot of people that were going to Florida are using the Thousand Trails system, and when you use the Thousand Trail systems, at least in some of the levels, you have to be out of the system for a certain period of time. So even if you are able to displace and stay somewhere else, Thousand Trails puts you somewhere else to stay, you're still going to be needing to be out of the system for a period of time, and that is where RV will come in handy to help you book that time in between when you have to be out of the system.
Another option, if maybe Arizona does not strike you, is of course the Lone Star State, right? Texas. Different types of beaches. You know, definitely going to have areas where there will be RV parks very close to the water. In fact, there are several spots in Texas where you can park your RV and boondock right on the beach. Texas is going to have the humidity.
And of course, there's other towns that are not the beach towns.
Right.
And
the inland part of Texas is also, you know, an option.
Yeah. And we have to say that we have not actually stayed for an extended period of time in Texas
Right.
or along the Gulf there. So we can't really speak exactly to specific parks or anything, but we have a lot of friends that have stayed there, and we hear it's nice. Someday we hope to get there and explore, especially the Big Bend area.
Right. It's one of the
Yeah.
big national parks we still want to get to.
Finally, if you really want to stay near Florida, there are some places that you can probably go instead. Like you can check out South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, or Savannah, Georgia.
Yep.
Are really nice places to visit in the wintertime also. And we've been to both of those places. Savannah is gorgeous.
Yep.
We went in the heat of the summertime though. I'm sure it would be much nicer in the wintertime. Other one is you might try New Orleans.
Yeah,
would be
that's
a
right.
good place to go check out
Now,
as well.
keep in mind, those places are probably going to fill up the fastest, and I expect all these other places to be pretty packed out as well as this happens, as people are kind of changing their travel plans. It's going to be tough, and the sooner that you can start looking and booking for sites and things, the better it's going to be. I will also imagine that longer term booking is not going to be readily available. I expect we're going to see, you know, shorter bookings and things like that. A lot of times, once you get into a park, often that's like the foot in the door moment. Then you can kind of extend from there. And I'm hoping for all the people that are displaced from Florida, that's what, you know, they're going to be able to try to do. Is
Not always, but sometimes when if you're already there and something comes available, they can help you move sites or something to stay in that park for longer.
Right, and in those instances where they're not going to be able to do that, you can already have searches running trying to get to the next spot and get it set up and booked.
Yeah.
The nice thing about a lot of these areas like Texas and Arizona is that there's that boondocking option that you can go and stay somewhere on public lands for free for, you know, a week or however long you may need to before your next spot opens up.
Yeah, exactly. Really looking forward to heading back to the Southwest this winter. Like I said before, it'll be our 5th year in Arizona, and so we're really looking forward to it. And the other nice thing that I'm personally looking forward to is that since more people will likely be in the Southwest, it gives us more opportunity to meet up with you guys, and we hope that we get to see you sometime this winter in Arizona.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you out there.